gone over the rules in the back. There were no final questions from you, Blue. There were no final questions from you, Red. If you want to touch gloves, come out now.
Arman Tsarukyan continues to confidently defeat his opponents. For a long time he has been fighting and winning, but the truth of his opponent is not included in the rating. But as Arman himself said, it does not matter if he continues to win confidently, then in this way he will be given a title chance against Islam Makhachev. Hello Fighters with You MMA Predictions channel. In this video I will give a prediction for a potential rematch between Arman Tsarukyan and Islam Makhachev. But before starting this video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like it so that as many fans around the world as possible can see this release. Percussive style. Islam Makhachev's striking technique has recently gone uphill. He is a unique lightweight fighter. He has the lowest percentage of missed punches. Given how competitive the lightweight is, this is a serious achievement. Oliveira will have to try to knock out Makhachev. He is not used to taking risks. He always acts according to the game plan. Many Islam can be reproached for not being spectacular fights. Then I will have a counter question for such fans. What other fighter with such a low percentage of missed punches was able to tightly knock out Tibau, send Ramos to a hard knockdown? You should also pay attention to the knockdown in the first fight against Charles. At first glance it seems that Islam is a mediocre fighter with an ordinary striking technique, but this is not the case. Islam has a unique style with which he inflicts maximum damage on his opponent while not allowing him to respond with due force. Until now, some people underestimate the striking power of Makhachev, but in vain. I am sure Arman treats the power of Islam with due respect, otherwise everything can end sadly for him. Now let's move on to Arman. Tsarukyan added an aspect to this with each fight. During this time he really grew. Back fist, accurate kicks, and many different blows are in Arman's arsenal. If you look at his previous fights, he is not looking for a knockout. He is used to methodically smashing his opponent at a distance without giving him practically no opportunity. Also, Tsarukyan does not have a bad hand speed. He punches very quickly and accurately, and you don't always see these blows. The same fights against Yoel Alvarez and Christos Giagos, Arman's opponents were distracted and missed a few splashes, so they were knocked out. Tsarukyan is only 25 years old. This is not even the average age of lightweight. He will progress in the blow every day. What he is doing now is not the peak of his ability, and this is even more surprising. Because if you take a few fighters from the top 15, at 30 their punch is worse than that of newcomer Arman Tsarukyan. In this regard he is really shocking. And what can I say? Both fighters have progressed noticeably, but still it seems to me that Tsarukyan's technique will be better. Playing from below. Arman, as you already know, is much better prepared than the top lightweight fighters. He can easily translate and control you all 3 rounds without letting you rise. This has already happened in the fight against Matt Frevola. Because of the good ones given in the rack, Tsarukyan decided not to risk and spend the whole fight in the fight. So if Arman has a plan from the very beginning to press the Kazakh to the cage, he will do it. He will translate down. In addition to good takedowns, Arman owns grappling and BJJ. Due to this, he does not allow his opponents to rise and controls them until the end of the fight. If you do not agree with me on this matter, then I invite you to the comments. There you can have an opinion on the struggle and much more. I am waiting for you there. If you choose a favorite, then Arman Tsarukyan will naturally be here, since he is more developed in this regard and he already has experience behind him. Islam has been practicing wrestling since early childhood. He has experience in competitions above his roof, and in addition to the achievements of Islam in wrestling, he has a sparring partner who can clearly increase Makhachev's skill in wrestling. This is Khabib Nurmagomedov. I'm sure he told him all the main tricks, so that no one could rebuff him. So back to physical strength, Islam, as well as Kevin Lee and Michael Chandler, can be said to be a healthy fighter for lightweight. His waist, back are quite wide, and for Charles Oliveira there will be a real problem to translate and make the Russian knock. As I said earlier, the Brazilian had problems with big fighters throughout his career, and Islam Makhachev is no exception. He is just as wiry and dangerous a fighter. What can I say? Makhachev will definitely be considered the favorite here at the expense of his coaching staff. He will be much better prepared than Arman. Cardio and spirit. In terms of endurance, Makhachev has not yet been tested. The maximum where he went is in the 5th round. But given what kind of team Islam has, I'm sure he will have the highest level of training. His team includes a member of the UFC Hall of Fame, Khabib Nurmagomedov, who has always been famous for his excellent reserve of strength, as well as the head coach of the ACA gym, Javier Mendez, who brought up such champions as Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier, and Khabib Nurmagomedov. In general, I am 100% sure in terms of endurance to prepare without any problems. I can't say much about Arman's stamina since he only once had a full 5-round fight, and then at the end he got tired and therefore lost the fight. But as we know, the fight will take place in the format of 15 minutes, and at this distance Tsarukyan is really good. His gas tank has never failed in this format of the fight. He always came out fresh after a 15-minute fight. The favorite here, in my opinion, will also be Islam, who showed that in a duel against Volkanovski he can go the whole distance. As for the spirit, here I will put equality. Forecast. I think that Islam will win this fight again, since his style and manner of introducing the fight is unique, and Tsarukyan will not be able to prepare for this. The future of fighters. The option of Makhachev's transition to welterweight is not ruled out, while Arman is waiting for another defeat, and I think it will knock him down a lot, so it's not a fact that he will return to the winning path.